Hi, it is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I am sitting here with Carolyn Fields. She is not only a dear friend, but she is also the president of the Venetia Teachers Association. And I thought, who better to sit down with and have a little chat about what teaching means. So, thank you so much for doing this with me.
I'm happy to do it.
Oh, thank you. Well, so first I want to ask, what got you into teaching?
I wish I had a wonderful, clever response to that, but honestly, I can't ever remember ever wanting to be anything other than a teacher. I feel like for me it's a calling, and I had no other choice, and I've loved every last minute of it for the last 19 years.
Oh, that's nice. That's like a beautiful story, and that's the kind of teachers we want out there teaching our children. So 19 years.
19 years.
And where all at? I know you as a teacher at Venetia Middle School. Is that where the only place you've taught?
Yes, it's where I started my career back in 1999, and I have stayed just because this community is incredible. The parents are incredible. My students are delightful, and it's where my heart is, for sure. I was born and raised in Vallejo, so I'm a local girl.
Oh, okay, that's nice. As I am. So would you say, I'm sure over the 19 years there have probably been a lot of changes, a lot of different aspects to teaching. What would you say some of your challenges are?
Well, I think right now, with everything happening nationally, people are starting to realize that one of the greatest challenges that teachers face is making a living wage. And it's no secret that in Venetia we've been in a really difficult, contentious round of negotiations with our school district trying to get a cost of living increase. And so right now, really, I believe that one of the greatest challenges I face as a teacher is being able to stay a teacher, being able to live off of the income and be in a place professionally where I can pay rent and live in the community where I teach.
Yeah, where you grew up and where you teach. So I have to say that I have noticed that there are emails being sent out by the district, and I think because I have teachers that are family, and I have tons of friends who are teachers. So it occurred to me that the teacher community may not have the access to the parents that the district office does. And I know just from talking to some people that, I don't think all of us fully understand what's going on and fully, because we're hearing definitely one side. And so that was part of the reason I wanted to reach out, because I felt like, especially during Teacher Appreciation Week, I think it's really important that you have an opportunity to be heard.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you for recognizing that the communication that comes from the district is just one perspective, and that the teachers don't have the access to all the parent emails like the superintendent and the board of trustees does. And so thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are welcome. I'm happy to do it. And so kind of leading into that, or I have a question. So is it true, one of those emails actually said that the teachers are demanding a 5% raise, and is that true?
So we take issue with Trustee Ferrucci's characterizing that we are demanding a 5% raise. That was our first offer that we came to the table with in this process of negotiations, which inevitably involves compromise, and we fully expected that. So that number, while accurate and it's based on the idea that the teachers' salaries used to be 50% of the district's budget back in 2012-ish, and we're trying to just be back at that percentage. So that's where that number came from, and it was a first offer, not a demand. It seemed very disingenuous, but it was characterized that way. It seemed unfair, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's good that we get that out there. And is it? I believe I read this, and I might be wrong. your salary is now 40% of.
As of the second, so it was 39.5% at the first interim, and at the second interim it had risen slightly because of some changes that were made in the budget. So it may, depending on the accuracy of those numbers, be around 43% at
Okay.
the second interim. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that
Yeah.
with us. Where does the Benicia Teachers Association expect the money
Right.
for the raises to come from? Because according to the emails that I'm seeing, it's hard to understand where that money will come from. So if you could help us understand that, that would be great.
Well, the district received $2.8 million in new money for the coming school year, and $1.5 million of that is ongoing funding. And so we feel it's very fair that the teachers should be prioritized and get a percentage of that new allotment of money. So.
And do you know where, maybe I should ask this, where the district is putting that money at this point or at this time?
So our negotiating team, the Teachers Association's negotiating team has really scrutinized the budget very, very closely. And there's a lot of money. Well, first of all, the expenditures that the district is incurring it has gone up in every other budget category except for on teacher salaries. So I could pepper you with a million different statistics here, but funding is up in every single area. Maintenance, books and supplies, a category that they call other outgo, but the amount on the teachers has decreased. Right.
Okay.
And kind of coupled with that, or in conjunction with that, is this notion that we see a lot of positions being added at the district office level that come at a hefty price tag. Often the salaries for district office level people are at they have a different pay scale than us.
Right.
But it's pretty high, $90,000 to $100,000 in a lot of cases.
Really?
And we feel like teachers are on the front line. They have the most direct influence on the success and well-being of the students, and that's where the money should go first. And those kind of positions, those administrative positions, are not nearly as important as money going to the classroom teachers.
Okay, I think that's a really valid point that you're bringing up, and I don't think a lot of us fully understand that there's these other positions that are created and the salaries that go along with them. Now, Dr. Young and Trustee Ferrucci has stated that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they said that teachers have received a 17.5% raise over the last 5 years, I believe. This seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So what, is this number accurate?
It is, and again, it's one of those things that isn't quite as black and white as it's being represented, or cut and dry. That 17.5% represents not just increases in our pay, but in our benefits package as well. Now keep in mind, the 4 years preceding that 5-year period that they like to highlight, there were no raises whatsoever. So in my mind, that 17.5% is really over 9 years.
Oh, okay.
So it's not anywhere near a actual usable cost of living increase.
Right.
And when you spread it out over 9 years, it's and then of course when you consider that as employees we've had to also pay more into our own retirement and for our own health care benefits, that chips away at that number too, right?
Absolutely.
Because any increase that you get, it's actually eaten up by what you now have to pay into those, to get your health coverage, or to get to put into your retirement. So that number is accurate. It's just that I would argue that with expenses and increases, it's not nearly
what it seems, or what it's presented as.
Yeah.
If I may say. Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that for us.
I hope I clarified.
Yeah. No, that you did. You shed some light. So thank you. And I guess my question would be, and maybe I don't know if you know the answer to this, but where is the district money being spent?
So it's it's being spent in those other budget categories, the books and supplies, the other outgo, those categories, maintenance, things like that. So even though so in that same 5-year period that Dr. Young and Trustee Ferrucci have mentioned in their communications, the school district has received 35% more in revenue. So
Really?
yes, so the more money is coming in and has been coming in, but less and less and less and less has been going to the teachers. Yeah.
Okay, so these are really good, valid points, and that I think that it's good for all of us to know and understand, and perhaps we didn't realize that. So, thank you for sharing that with me, and
Yeah.
I just think it's important to get that information out there, and so that we're more informed. And
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I do.
well, I know it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and hopefully we've all been showing our teachers in the district and across the nation how important you all are and how much we appreciate all of you.
Oh, well, I've always felt very, very much appreciated by the parents in this community, and it's where my heart is.
Oh,
For sure.
well, thank you, Carolyn. Okay, and thank you for listening.